it really is no longer about the chain that the user is on, but it's just what the app that they want to use and what is their experience when they come to actually use this app. Because if you think about things how they were a few years ago, like I remember mirror.xyz being this publishing platform which is censorship resistant, and a lot of writers within the space wanted to kind of get onto it, but the only way to use mirror.xyz was to connect your wallet, and most people obviously don't know what a wallet is. So now it's in the context of that app. That app is great. People are convinced that the stuff that I'm writing should not be censored, and hence I want to write on this platform. But I can't do it without having a wallet first, right? So this, I think, needs to get solved in the context of apps, and there are ways to be able to kind of do this, and then further downstream, once a user has been onboarded, firstly onto that app, and then indirectly onto crypto, then we kind of can hope for them to start doing other things which are speculative or non-speculative in nature, which may or may not involve painful methods for themselves. But yeah, Ishan, I just wanted to kind of also get your take on this, if you had a specific,
For sure. I think for me personally, like when we say onboarding onto crypto, for me, what that essentially means is complete self-custody, complete freedom and ownership of your assets, right? Now, essentially, like Raza said, like John said, like a lot of people are using centralized exchanges to sort of trade assets, or not even custody assets, right? They're just trading assets, but they don't have complete autonomy over those assets, right? They don't have the complete agency over those assets. So I wouldn't say those people are onboarded onto crypto. Now, when we say onboard onto crypto, again, self-custody, but now when you have those assets, whether these are tokens or whether these are ordinals or NFTs or just about anything on chain, right? And when you have complete ownership, now how can you deploy that on chain somewhere else without having to backtrack and go into centralized systems again? I think that is what essentially means onboarding onto crypto, and how you can stay on chain and deploy your completely self-custody assets completely on chain. I think that is where, let's say, something like you mentioned, right, Mayur, like around complete usage of an app, like that is where like decentralized apps come into the picture, right? That's where I, as a user who's self-custodying assets, can deploy those assets somewhere else to do whatever else I want, whether I want to, let's say, sell my wine which has an NFT tokenized to it, or whether I want to supply USDC and borrow and like all these DeFi things, right? That is exactly where like self-custody and chain abstraction makes sense for me in terms of user experience.